Hey guys, what's up? It's Alpha127 here again with my Minecraft videos. It's no longer going to be tutorial videos. Today I want to do something different before we get on with the new Let's Play. And that is, if you can see from my hotbar, it's going to be a little mod thing. Now, this mod is called the Clay Soldiers mod. And what it does, if you don't already know, is you can craft and place down little clay soldiers like that. And place as many as you want, and they normally do walk around. Yep. I'll just start walking around. But let me go ahead and get 3 of these guys. Where are they? Here they are. If you introduce them to a different color, they'll start to fight each other. Now, I haven't recorded this mod yet, so I don't know how slow it's gonna be. Oh, and when they die, it's just gonna pop back into item form. So, the winner of this team was red. There's a whole bunch of different items you can use to deck them out with and like make them better. So what I've done is I've made this arena. And what this arena is each team comes out from underneath each tower. And each tower over the team bases is kind of like a sponsor. So once this is put up on a server, which I don't know if I will or not, depends on how many people like this video, how many people want this on a server, I will it'll be a sponsor, and there are rules for sponsoring. You can only throw out like one item if your team's winning or if they're about to lose. I put a bunch of rules out there. The rules are over there by that smaller board. But what I've also done is I've taken all the 20 teams and narrowed it down to 8 categories: gray, red, yellow, flying is going to be stupid, green, blue, orange, purple, and brown and black. A dark color. Now each team has their own specialty and their own kind of special king. So the gray, for instance, their specialty is they're overabundant in fighters and strong in spirit, which means, if here, pull up my specialties, get rid of that, okay. Sorry about if that all messed up on the recording, but that means the gray team, or anything under the gray team category, has 10 extra soldiers on the field with regular equipment, and their king is the strongest king in all the land, which means this king has a diamond, which makes it like a super soldier. Now this whole video is probably just going to be me talking about the specialties and all this. I might do a fight. I might do a fight. Or I might just put it into 2 videos. But the red team are a strong combat specialist, and they're a strong warrior team. Their king is armed to the teeth and ready to fight. So all the red team has, before I do that, let me show you the standard equipment. The normal equipment is 20 soldiers on the field with 1 king with special equipment depending on the team. Each team has 10 sticks, which can be used as weapons, 10 leather pieces, which can be used as armor, 5 pieces of gravel that can be thrown, 2 glistening melons that can be used as medics that can heal on the field, 2 gas tiers, which can revive brick dolls if they're set on fire, and 10 clay lumps. that revive fallen soldiers. The kings have padded armor plus extra. So, for the red team, they all have sharpened sticks, and the king has a bone and a studded shield. Now, what a bone is, it's a king's weapon. Only they can use it, and it's a lot stronger and it's a lot more durable than a stick. So, you can upgrade that with a golden block. The yellow team, they're the masters of disguise, great with sneak attacks. This king isn't afraid to take his foes down with him. Now, what it means, masters of disguise, is if you give them an egg, they'll kind of wear it as a mask, and it hides them from all the other teams, except if one soldier was wearing goggles, which we'll get to that later. But it pretty much hides them from everybody, so they have the advantage to sneak around and do all that kind of stuff. Now, what I want to do, or I shouldn't say what I want to do, it's what this team does a lot, which I find just hilarious, is let me show you their equipment base. The yellow team, they all have egg masks, so all of them are hidden. They have 20 shear blades, which shear blades can be used to double wield, and they work most efficiently when they are under stealth, like when they can't be seen. They have no gravel, and the king has gunpowder, so he isn't afraid to take his foes down with him. But what this team really likes to do is, those who have the shear blades, who are double wielding, will go out and sneak attack and fight. And once you fight, you lost your egg mask abilities, so you can be seen. You still have the egg, but you can be seen. So they'll send like half their guys out with dual wielding and just go kill. Well, what the other half will do is they'll go collect the shear blades if they aren't broken, and they'll go heal them. So they're still unseen, but they can go out and fight, or they can go out and heal to fight. Alright, moving on. The green team, fighters from afar. Can't swing a sword, but can throw. The king is willing to get up close and make you go blind. Now what these guys are the ranged fighters, if you couldn't tell. And they have 10 gravel, which is the only ranged one that can actually hurt an opponent. 5 fire charges, which is new for 1.2.5, I think. And what that does, it just sets them on fire. It doesn't do any particular damage, but it does knockback, and it causes them fire damage. And there's 5 snowballs. So all have goggles and sugarcane. What goggles do is it increases their vision by 5 blocks, and they can see masked people. So if someone's wearing an egg mask and one of the green guys show up with their goggles, they can see them and will start throwing at them. The sugarcane increases their accuracy with the throwing, so when they throw, it'll be a much better chance of them hitting. Now what the king has is, the king has a slime ball and redstone dust, and none of them have sticks. Now what the slime balls and redstone dust do is, the slime balls, if you get up close to them, it'll glue the person down to that spot, and they can only stay in that spot. And the redstone, it blinds them, so they can't do anything. They're stunned for a certain amount of time. So what the king will do normally is he'll go around gluing and blinding everybody down, and his soldiers will just make a wave from behind and just start plastering everybody. 1 second. Okie day. Moving on to the blue team. Known for the elements, great trap makers. The king can set ablaze to anything he sees. Now, I like the blue team especially. Because they have the most different weapons. They have no special equipment other than, I think, the armor. I'm sorry if you're just looking at a pause screen, but I have to keep moving over to... So, I'm sorry. But let's see if... There, that's a bit better. Alright, the blue team, they all have lily pads. I want to change something on that. Okay. They all have lily pads, which means they can float on water, because without a lily pad, clay soldiers will just sink to the bottom. With a lily pad, they'll kind of float up on the top of it. Wow, this is running super smooth. I'm liking this. Okay. But they also have 10 magma cream and 10 gunpowder. Now, the magma cream and gunpowder kind of go hand in hand. But I'll explain gunpowder first. What the gunpowder does is any soldier that has gunpowder on him kind of turns into a creeper. And you'll see like the little gunpowder specks on them, but they pretty much they explode on impact. They make a little 4-block explosion. It isn't that big, but it still causes a bit of damage. And it kills all the soldiers around them, even their own. Now what the magma cream does, it's a little bit trickier. What the magma cream does is, you don't see anything on the soldier who's wielding it, but if that soldier dies, he'll put the magma cream on the soldier that killed him, and it kind of goes off like a time bomb, and later, that soldier explodes. And normally, the soldier who has the magma cream on them will be around his other soldiers when he explodes. So that's a great one. They have 5 blaze powder, which it just gives them the ability to set their opponents on fire. 5 blaze rods, which is kind of like a stick with blaze powder. So you can imagine what that does. And they have no sticks and no gravel. So the only thing special about them, the only thing normal about them, is their 10 armor. Their king has a blaze rod, blaze powder, and coal, which kind of charges up both the blaze powder and blaze rod. And he also has the padded armor and the lily pad and all the regular equipment. Moving on to the orange team. Expert biologist can heal bros and poison foes. The king has a personal gecko to stride through the battlefield on. Now, this team's kind of like the polar opposite of the blue team, where it goes from the blue team has barely any normal equipment, while the orange team has barely any special equipment. The team has normal equipment, red and brown mushroom, and king has a gecko. Now, the only thing special about the red and brown mushrooms is the brown mushrooms work as a food, or like a pork chop. And, if it kind of gives them extra health. So if they're out fighting and they run low on hearts, they can eat their brown mushroom up to 4 times, and heal all their hearts. The red mushrooms, however, can add a poisoning effect. It's kind of like a splash potion of poison. But they won't throw it, it'll just be like, they'll walk up and poison them. And the gecko, it can climb, it can run fast, it kind of diverts from the king's direct damage. It's a mount. Nothing much to that team. Purple team. Uses strength and numbers. Does not believe in armor. The king will hold you still while his men beat you down. Now the purple team, I think they're kind of dirty fighters. Because let me tell you what they have before I tell you what they do. The purple team, they all dual wield shear blades. They don't have any gravel, no leather, so no armor, and no sticks. They have 10 slime balls and 10 redstone dust. The king has an upgraded bone, slime ball, and redstone dust. Now what these guys like to do is, there's going to be one guy, normally the king, that goes around and glues people down or blinds them, while the rest of the guys, they all kind of huddle around and just beat them down. It's like, it's exactly what this is. The king will hold you down still while his men beat you down. So, they're kind of dirty fighters, but I like them. They're a good team, because they do use strength in numbers. Now, finally the brown, black, and coal team. The brown, I'll just call it the black team. The black team fight with their trusty cobblestone turtles. They're the sturdiest team. You really can't move this king too easily. He's like a wall. Now, the black team, they all have shields, which are just bowls. Half of them have iron cores, which means it makes them really heavy, and it gives them a lot more kind of like it's a defense buffer. And 10 of them have turtles, which are mounts, and they're really sturdy, and they're actually getting kind of fast. They're not getting fast, but they are kind of fast. And what the king has a studded shield and a bone. I think it just depends on the battle if... Oh, and they don't have gravel. They have the sticks, the armor, and no gravel. And I think it just depends on the battle if I want to give the black team, the black king, a turtle or an iron core. So I really don't know how long I've been recording, but I think it's been forever. But let me go ahead and explain the tournament to you. Round 1, there's just all the simple rounds. Round 1, round 2, semifinals, finals, and then there's the champion. But there's a little exception. The semifinals are a bit strange due to the numbers of teams. In round 2, there's an odd number of fights. So to even the things out, 2 loser teams in round 2 must fight another team so that the semifinals will be even. This also gives the loser team a chance of redemption. So, round 1, there's going to be 4 teams fighting. So it's going to be team versus team versus team versus team. So what I have it set up like is 2 teams versus 2 teams. 1 team will go up. 2 teams versus 2 teams, 1 goes up. So on and so on. Well, here it's just going to be team versus team, and then team versus team versus team. Well, no. 1 fight between these 2. 1 fight between these 2. And whoever loses out of this fight, and whoever loses out of this fight, has to fight these fights. Or this guy. And both of them are gonna have to fight. So this team's gonna fight twice. Or I might just have it a 3-way fight. I haven't kind of figured that out yet. But then there's... No, they're gonna have to fight twice. So this team victors, this team victors, this team victors, and then this team victors. That way it evens it out, so fight, victor, finals, champion. Alright, I think I'm going to do a separate video for the fight because I feel like I've been recording for a really long time and I want to give this a chance to upload. But I want to show you one more thing. For every fight, I put out chests. And each chest kind of has something special that may or may not be used. So, this chest has some pork chops, some wool, some mushrooms, and some shear blades. and they're just scattered around in each kind of quadrant. And they've all been hidden in the special area. So like this one has been hidden in the mountain. This one's stuck in the middle of the river. This one's kind of on the side of the lake. And this one is hidden in the mountain. And the only reason this one has the most stuff is because the eggs only stack in 16. Oh! What the arrows do is, they give the soldier a sharpened stick right away. And what it also does is it gives him a feather, which feathers act as parachutes. Now, I'm not going to go through all the items, but I did want to mention that because there are so many items, but the feathers act as parachutes. And if, like, say they fall from there, they can kind of parachute their way down without having, because if they fall from this far, they'll die. But if they have a feather, it kind of gives them that safety. Alright, I'm going to call this good and do the fight a separate video. So, let me get to the top of the tower. Actually, let me get to my tower. And yeah, I've wired it up to where one switch just opens all the doors. So, this is IFR 127, signing out.